In this tutorial, we will see what is React Developers Tool and why we need it. So let me move to our output of that code that we have done in our previous tutorial. And you can see this is the complete website almost that we have done in our previous tutorial and used pure React.js. So what is basically React Developers Tool? Let me move in our inspect, and inside inspect, if I move in console, and here you can see that it is showing the error. Each child in a list should have a unique key. This is key props basically, should have a unique key props. Why we need basically this key prop? You can see if we have multiple cards, let's say we have this card, and how can we come to know that what code of this card is basically. So for better experience of that code being rendered by the components, all the components and divs are shown in React Developers Tool basically. So if you have not downloaded and installed React Developers Tool extension, you would see here extension that it would see for better experience you should have to install React Developers Tool, and it would also give the link here that by clicking on this link you would go to Google Chrome and you would install that extension. So if you have not given here the link of that extension, then I am going to install. So to install this extension, so here you have to click on these three dots, and here you have to click on extensions, and here you have to get extensions for Microsoft Edge. This is for Microsoft Edge case. I will tell you for Chrome. Just wait for the moment. And here you can see there is a lot of extensions. Here you have to type React Developers Tool. React Developers Tool. And this is the extension. You have to press here to download. And I have downloaded it already. This is the extension. That's why it is showing here as remove option. In your case, it would show here install extension. So this is for the case of if you want to download it in your Microsoft Edge. So this is basically Microsoft Edge. So for the case of Google Chrome, you have to open it, and here you have to type React Developers Tool. You can also move in direct extensions and manage extensions. Here you have to click, and in this point, this is basically all the extensions of Google Web Store, and here you can type React Developers Tool, and this is the extension that you have to install for the case of Google Chrome. You have to press on it, and now you will see here the option add to Chrome. Basically I am not going to add it in Chrome because I work in Microsoft Edge. So many of the developers work in Google Chrome. That's why I have told you both of these options. So I have already faced a problem, and let me tell you what was the issue while I have downloaded and using it for the first time. I had this error here. This is a restricted browser page. React Developers Tool cannot access to this page. This was basically not the error, but in other words we can say that this is private on that page. It is not working. So let me set it. First of all, you have to move in extension. You have to move here and click on manage extensions, and here you have to click on details, and in details you have to allow that allow access to file URL. This is important, and it was not allowing React Developers tool to install to work successfully. So I have to click here, allow access to file URLs. So after that you would be able to install and use React Developers tool. And now you can see that here is an option. React Developers tool has access to this site because we have allowed it now. So let me tell you basically why we need React Developers tool while we are building React applications or React websites. So we have to move in inspect, and here in inspect, if we move in console, and here it is showing an error that each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Basically it is showing the error for that page, which is service page. So here you have to click on more tools, and here you will see this one and this one are two basically from React Developers tool extension. So I am just clicking on components. It seems troubleshooting instruction. The most important thing that I have to tell you, after installing that extension, you have to close your browser at once and again open it. I am also going to kill my terminal. Control J and npm start. Now you will be able to use the extension basically. So here I am just going to click on service, and I am going to move in inspect, and I have told you about this error already. Now you have to click on more tools, and in more tools you will see these two options. Basically these two options are from React Developers tool. This is the extension that I have downloaded. So I am just clicking on components, and inside components you can see that there is a lot of components here. All these are basically divs, navs and etc. that we have used. So let me move in our codes, and now you can see that these are codes basically, and we have these props at this code that we have in that code. So you can see there is a lot of codes, but we don't know what code is that. So how can we come to know that? You have to move in your code, press Ctrl J to minimize the terminal. So here I'm just going to move in core data, and here I have to write a unique key. I'm just writing Ctrl Y as I had already done it. You have to write for every code. Press Ctrl S as I have now added all the IDs in that code data. Now what we have to do in our course, we have to do nothing. This course is basically our structure of code, so we don't need to make any changes in structure of code. We are just going in service, and inside service we have these values that we have prop here. So we have to use here as key, as I had already mentioned you. Let me tell you, it is showing here child in a each child in a list should have a unique key prop. It is showing here the spelling as key, K-E-Y. So you should have to write the same spelling, is equal to val dot I am just writing ID. Now what is ID basically? By the help of array map, ID is showing for each element of that array. So here we have key property. Just press Ctrl S and move to our output, and if we click on components, just refresh that page, and here you can see that it is showing here chord and key. This is basically automatically considerable by React. You can see here is the data of chord 1, and here is the data of chord 2, and here is data of chord 3, chord 4, chord 5. We can check easily what is basically chord image and chord body, etc., chord title, everything. And it is also showing here that this chord title is rendered by chords, and chords is rendered by service, and service is basically rendered by roots, and at the last this roots is rendered by app component. So this is also showing that how is basically a complete hierarchy is rendered by other component. So this was all about React Developers tool. We can also make some changes as well. Besides this chord ID, it is extensively used for other components as well.